them to go through this pregnancy and labor and postnatal care successfully. Unfortunately, as a country, we do not have that at all.
Meanwhile, Basic Needs Ghana, an NGO focused on mental health, is strengthening the capacity of existing facility and community-based maternal and child health services.
Basic Needs identify these gaps that exist between the reproductive health system, develop this maternal mental health project, basically to ensure that health workers, especially midwives and community health nurses, screen pregnant women and women who have just given birth routinely for signs of mental illness and also for suicidal ideation.
Dr. Eugene Dodoy of the Mental Health Authority believes the intervention by Basic Needs Ghana is good, but a lot more needs to be done. Until society encourages open discussion about perinatal depression and seeks support for those suffering from the condition, women will continue to live in denial, shame and fear. Wendy Lai, TV3.
Twelve hours in Accra. This is Midday Live from the News Hub at Adesawe, Kanda. My name is Bright Nanam. For a quick look at top stories for this afternoon. Members of the University Teachers Association of Ghana embark on an indefinite nationwide strike, directing the Vice Chancellor of the University of Education to step aside. Meanwhile, lecturers at the Kumasi campus of the university are divided over taking part in the nationwide strike. We bring you a feature of factories and industries built by the late Dr. Kwame Nkrumah 60 years after independence. We're getting ready to mark the birthday of a man who led Ghana to independence. And on the international front, at least 7 people have been arrested in Uganda's capital, Kampala, following demonstrations against a proposed bill to lift the age limit to run for president. And we have these and more coming up, including business and sports. Stay with us. This is Midday Live. We're beginning from the education front. Members of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, have embarked on an indefinite nationwide strike. This is to protest a court ruling which directed the Vice Chancellor of the University of Education to step aside temporarily. The strike is in solidarity with UTAG branch of the University of Education, whose members have already laid down their tools since July 2017. UTAG views the court's directive as an attack on academic freedom, which it believes might affect all public universities in the country. And of course, I will tell you exactly what the situation is on the various campuses of the University of Education, Winneba. You know that university has campuses in Kumasi and other parts of the country. Exactly how are the lecturers responding to the directive from UTAG to begin an indefinite strike as a way of compelling authorities to also deal with the situation at the University of Education. Don't also forget that lecturers at the university are already on a strike, and as school resumes, we are told some of them are adhering to the directive by UTAG. Lecturers at the main campus, Winneba, are already on strike, adhering to the directive there. Now, we're told that members of the university in other parts of the country, particularly the Kumasi campus, are divided as to what to do. Some lecturers are teaching, others are not, and are adhering to the directive. Daniel Opoku is at the University of Ghana, one of the nation's public universities there, and will tell us exactly what's happening. Daniel, grateful for your time with us. What exactly is the situation where you are? All right, we'll try and rework the connection to the University of Ghana campus there. UTAG directing that all staff should step aside their teaching jobs. They are not supposed to teach. We're told that at the Kumasi campus of the University of Education, there is some kind of division. Some lecturers are teaching, others are not. At the main campus at Winneba, the members there are already on strike even before this directive. UTAG is asking that from now, all lecturers are to withdraw teaching services while they engage in some dialogue to deal with it. We are told that UTAG is meeting the Vice Chancellors of Ghana today, and we're told that it is aimed at getting some response from UTAG. We'll definitely get you more, but let's go back to the University of Education, Winneba. Daniel Opoku is there monitoring the situation. And Daniel, grateful you're back. Exactly what is the situation there?
For the past 2 to 3 months, government has been unable to resolve the problem, despite the fact that a governing council board has been instituted as we speak. And now, currently, UTAG nationwide in the various public institutions have begun a nationwide strike. We are currently at the University of Ghana to find out whether indeed lecturers at the University of Ghana have refused to come and teach. But before that, I've been on this particular campus, we realized that in the morning some students had lectures, and speaking to us indicated that some of their lecturers came to teach them. But currently I have with me KJC. KJC is a political science student who like you to interact with for him to tell us whether indeed he had classes this morning and probably this afternoon. Good afternoon, KJC.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now, KJC, are you aware UTAG is on strike?
Yes, please, I'm aware.
Now, so since getting to know that UTAG is on strike, and beginning this morning, have you gone for lectures?
Not please.
Why?
We were told that lectures have been postponed and that we should join the Wednesday class.
That's what your lecturer told you?
Yes, please.
But did you come as in your numbers for academic work to begin?
No, please.
Some of your colleagues did not come?
No, we did not come at all because we received the information last week that we should join the Wednesday class.
Just that?
Just that.
So the lecturer did not even come in to tell you anything, just a text message or something?
No, he sent the information across last week that we should join the Wednesday class and that the Wednesday class will come on.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I also have with me Yasantua. Yasantua is also a fresher, together with Cecilia. Both of them are freshers, first-year students on this particular campus. Now, good afternoon, Yasantua.
Good afternoon.
Yasantua, do you have lectures?
Yes, please.
What did your lecturer tell you?
I've not had lectures yet, but I'll have it around 1:30.
And how confident are you that your lecturer will show up?
I don't really know how it's going to be like, but I just hope he shows up.
Now, you've had some prior interactions with your colleagues. They indicate to you that their lecturers came to teach them.
Yes. There are some of them. Their lecturers came, but I don't know of the others. I've not really asked them.
Right, thank you very much. Now, Cecilia, you are also, which course are you here to offer?
Psychology. Yes.
Psychology.
Yes.
Now, are you aware that UTAG is on strike? If you are, have you had lectures this morning?
No, I'll have it at 1:30.
1:30 with your colleague. How confident that the lecturer will show up?
I don't really know. I just heard about it, so I don't know whether they are going to show up or not.
But your colleagues whom you interacted with this morning indicate to you that they had lectures this morning?
Yes, please. They had lectures this morning.
Right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right. So currently at the University of Ghana, it appears there is a division between some members of UTAG and others. Now, there are those who came this morning to lecture, and others also have asked their students to join the Wednesday class or the subsequent days. They are supposed to join the class for them to come in and teach them. We have been trying to get the national president of UTAG, Mr. President Agbanu, whom we are told has been in an emergency meeting. But some sources indicate to us that nationwide public universities, the lecturers somehow are divided. There are those who are in support of the strike and there are those who are also against the strike. So we'll try and get you all these answers when we chance on the national president of UTAG, Dr. Harry Agbanu. Over to you in the studio, Daniel Opoku.
Daniel Opoku there from the University of Ghana campus. And UTAG is fighting this cause in solidarity with lecturers at the University of Education. Now, we're going to Kumasi, where one of the campuses of the University of Education is located. And Ibrahim Abubakar, our correspondent there, has been cross-checking exactly what's happening there. He's told us that some lecturers are at work lecturing, others are adhering to the directive to begin a sit-down strike.
The National Executive Committee of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has directed all its members nationwide to withdraw its teaching services in the various universities. This is in solidarity with their counterpart at the University of Education, Winneba. But then here at the Kumasi campus of the University of Education, there seems to be some division. Some lecturers have heeded to the order and have withdrawn their teaching services, but then some are also in class teaching because they say they've not been communicated to. I'll shortly be engaging with some of the lecturers to speak to them why they have decided to withdraw their services, and we'll also be speaking to the other group why they have decided to reject the strike action and continue with their teaching activities. You have decided to be among the lecturers who heed to the call of the UTAG.
We decided to stay out of that strike. Indeed, that decision per the House was because the House believed some of the decisions that were taken by the Winneba executives were not taken in consultation with the satellite campuses. I am of the view that this strike, we should hold on to it till the the meeting they are having with the VCG Ghana today is ended. And we in the University of Education with Kumasi campus, we had an emergency meeting today too, and with that meeting, among other things, we are going to discuss this current strike action. We should be careful not to divide our front, lest we give ourselves to the people we have always tried to take what we think it belongs to us, that they don't give us in due time and due course. So whatever the decision we have taken, we should respect it. Then we also call on our national leadership, just as other people are also saying that there should have been consultations. Yes, this is not the first time UTAG have taken a decision without consulting members.
Thank you very much. He is in support with the decision by his national executive to withdraw their teaching services. We will try to speak to some of the lecturers who have rejected the strike action and are in class teaching their students. We've realized that you are in class teaching. Why?
I'm actually not aware of the strike action and why UTAG has declared the strike. I'm yet to read any document on that. So I only woke up, and by 7 I came to lecture because the students are around and we need to lecture them.
Some lecturers are in support of the strike action, whilst others have also rejected it. They are saying they've not been consulted and they've not been communicated on any strike action. So for now, they are in class teaching. From University of Education, Kumasi campus, my name is Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News.
That's the Kumasi campus of the University of Education, Winneba there. Lecturers beginning withdrawal of teaching services, day one. We'll bring you more, but we'll stay on it. Senior Jabin is a labor consultant there. He's just joined me on the phone lines. Senior, grateful for your time this afternoon. Now, how binding is this directive from UTAG to all members to withdraw their services, particularly when some of them are suggesting that the decision was taken without consulting them?
Yes, thank you very much. This strike action is a bit strange. to some of us who've been observing the issues as they unfold at Winneba. It is not quite clear exactly the reasons why the lecturers are on strike. And as you can see, it looks like it's not been communicated fully to all members. Again, even I've not made checks with the National Labour Commission to find out if the lecturers have followed the laid down procedures for a lawful strike action. But with the haste and the uncertainty surrounding it, I believe I can safely say that perhaps they might not have followed the laid down procedure. So it is difficult to tell, but it's an unfortunate situation. This should not be happening.
I see, Senor, the threat to embark on a strike was given by UTAG some 3 weeks ago, and perhaps this is only the beginning of the strike. 3 weeks ago, Dr. Agbanu, the UTAG president, national president, hinted that if government would not resolve the impasse at the University of Education, the lecturers might decide to take this action. We're told it has started today. Now, is it that because you're not aware of any procedure having been followed, that's what you're suggesting, or perhaps you think that the strike is too sudden, that is why you think they might not have followed the right procedures?
Well, often you have unions and workers' associations normally giving press statements and giving ultimatum. Now, that is short of law, where official notification are supposed to be given to the employer and also the National Labour Commission, following which dialogue begins. And often the law is structured such that once dialogue begins on a particular strike action, then we enter what we call a cooling off period where strikes cannot be maintained or strike cannot continue. So I'm basing my analogy on the technicalities and the circumstances of the matter. And of course, if they have given the necessary notifications and have followed laid down procedure, I think that they will be within their right to continue with the strike until the necessary authorities intervene. But under the circumstances, I am not sure, and so I stand to be corrected. However, even under the circumstances where law and all that has following the circumstances of the situation, I think that dialogue should have been more of the way to go rather than a strike action.
I see. Let's quickly touch on the legality of a strike action. Now, UTAG is suggesting in the statement released that a court in Winneba has impositioned a vice-chancellor on the university. According to UTAG, that is against the University Act and statutes. And as a result, this strike is to compel the court to perhaps rescind the decision. Now, others argue that if UTAG feels not too excited about what the court has done, they rather should resort to court instead of this strike. Where do you stand?
Well, you see, a court of competent jurisdiction has some powers. And when parties go before a judge and judgment is passed, those parties still have other remedies open to them. Now, I understand and I know that UTAG was not joined in the lawsuit, so they are external parties. I feel that the entire university management and the workers and the lecturers should take the judgment and sit and dialogue as to how they may implement it. However, government's role, I believe, is very important in the resolution of this matter. Indeed, government could not have taken any action on the matter while the matter was pending before the court. And so, under the circumstances, the judgment stands until either of the parties take any other remedial action per the judgment that has been passed. And therefore, I don't see where the strike should come in now. And that has been my difficulty when I saw the statement and I heard that UTAG has declared a strike action because of the court judgment that they were not party to.
All right.
I'm happy they have a meeting today, and I believe that they can solve this matter, and then the lecturers can go back to the classroom.
I'm grateful for your time. Sonia Jabin is a labor consultant talking to me on the UTAG strike. There is more update on the UTAG strike on 3news.com. Go there and read more. Now, let's shift attention to the Upper East region. The lack of furniture is affecting the health of most school pupils in the Boku West district of that region. Pupils who lie flat on their chest and stomach to write. And they are complaining of chest, waist, and neck pains. This is Eva Tibuka's report.
Most schools in the district lack furniture. As children in the area attempt to seek education and secure a brighter future, a chunk of them end up attracting ailments. They lie on the bare floor daily to write and learn. The district received only 87 dual desks for the 39,253 pupils for distribution to the 82 primary and 50 junior high schools for the 2017 academic year. But the number is woefully inadequate for the schools.
Our senior high school is in that need of furniture. I've given them 10 dual desks. We've decided to locate the 77 that is left to 7 circuits, so that the next, when we get more consignment, then the rest of the circuit will cover them.
At the Kukuruzia Primary School, Grace and her colleagues, who are now in Primary 4, have all this while had to lie on the bare floor in this school for years due to the absence of furniture. With 6 lessons daily, pupils of classes 1 to 6 exert pressure on their chest and tummies to write. Already, at Primary 4, many are complaining of chest pains.
My hands and my waist, my head, and I can't write proper.
If you are lying down to write, our body will be paining.
Just lying down to write. My back and my joint is always paining.
The story is same at Timonde Primary. This is the only desk in Class 5, customized by these lucky 2. In Class 4, some hung on benches they brought from their houses. Others stand to allow them a clearer view. For teachers, the situation is demotivating.
If I'm here to teach, travel all the way from Zebula town, if you look at their modes, sitting unconcerned with you is too bad.
School authorities say all efforts to get furniture for studies have failed. Meanwhile, the District Director of Education says much cannot be done. The pupils want something done urgently to safeguard their health and education.
And that's the plight of pupils there in that part of the country. Let's stay on it there. Let's speak to the Education Directorate there. The District Director of Education has just joined us on the phone lines, Madam Cecilia Asibi. Good afternoon, Madam, and grateful for your time.
Good afternoon.
So let's begin from here. You said that there's not much you can do. What is the challenge you have in getting these people's chairs, furniture to sit on?
The challenge is that I have contacted District Assembly and they have provided some, but not much. And I have also pleaded with philanthropists to help, and nothing is coming. So that is the challenge so far.
And so if you say they have provided some, are you able to tell us what they have provided and what more you need?
Yeah, what actually we have now is what we have in the schools are inadequate. Because the last time they provided furniture for the district was in May 2016. and that was 125 dual desks for only 3 schools. And recently at the regional level, we have been giving 87 dual desks. And I have given 10 each to a school, that is 7 schools. So looking at the number they have given out is inadequate.
I see. What is the assurance that perhaps what is left will be provided by the Assembly?
Well, today the Assembly have contacted me to give them the estimation of the quantity we need, so that they will see whether if they cannot even provide, or they will give us some for the meantime. So they have just come today to tell me. So I'm yet I've made my second supervisors to go around and update me with the number of furniture we actually need for the district.
You saw the kids. I'm sure you see them every morning lying on their bellies writing. In some schools, you find kids bringing their own chairs. Is that possible in the schools that have this challenge?
Yes, it's possible, because even most of the head teachers write to the district through the district directorate for furniture, and we forward them for support. So it's possible.
And finally, before you go, what exactly is the impact of this on teaching and learning?
In fact, it has a negative impact on teaching and learning. Just like the children say, lying on the floor, the handwriting, they lack concentration. And even they have pains on their back. Handwriting is a difficult thing. They will not have good handwriting. So some even do not come to school because of the situation of the schools. So we have dropout rate and then absenteeism because of this inadequate or lack of furniture in the schools.
Right, Madam, we're grateful for your time. Madam Cecilia Sibi is the GS Director, Boku West District of the Upper East Region there, talking to me from that part of the country. We'll stay in the upper part of the country, but we're going to the northern region. The Daboya Polyclinic in North Gonja District has run out of consumables to save lives. Eva Atibuka reports that paper packaging boxes and A4 sheets are now used as patients' folders.
The Daboya Health Facility is a polyclinic but falls short of its service delivery. TV3 in 2014 reported on a wide range of challenges facing the facility. The most shocking was patients sharing medical folders and history. 2 or more patients shared hospital lie-in beds. Apart from our reportage getting these beds, not much has changed. This was given me as attendance card when I first visited the Daboya District Hospital in 2014. I am here in 2017 and I'm told nothing has changed. So we head on towards the hospital and to bring you details. The facility is still under-resourced, with existing structures and logistics fast deteriorating, even though health professionals are ready to work. This time, patients no longer share folders or lose their medical history. Attendance cards still remain cartons of paper packs and folders made of A4 sheets.
Ever since Polyclinic came to Daboya, this is what we have been using.
Consumables are mostly out of reach. Thus, some residents say the health system is near collapse. Patients buy gloves for officials to work with. The district health director, Abukari Alasan, blames the situation on the non-payment of the national health insurance claims.
So as we speak, the supply of basic things that we need, including even basic equipment, is a problem, because we cannot just provide because we don't have the money. And we are owing suppliers. We have run out of patient folders. And I am seriously still making contacts to see if we can get folders on credit, because we don't have the money to buy.
The facility has no medical doctor, and this story building is wasting away. The district health director wonders how the facility got its current status.
If you hear a polyclinic When you are coming there, you are coming with a certain mindset. And you are coming in anticipation that the facility should be able to provide certain minimum package of services to you as a polyclinic. But because the facility lacks that credentialing, the facility lacks those infrastructure that should put it at that level, you cannot meet up to it.
The director holds a different view about the facility.
I think it is a very huge responsibility to let the people understand that the status under which the facility has been captioned is not the case. Boya Polyclinic, I'll put it in quotes, is actually credentialed as a level B health center.
We'll tell you more about that later on. But let's turn to Founders Day just a few days ahead. 60 years after independence, several factories and industries built by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah have folded up, with those in operation struggling. We'll take a look at the neglected legacy of Ghana's first president as Ghana marks the Nkrumah's Memorial Day on Thursday, September 21.
Think big, act big, embrace the future today. This is one of the popular quotes of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. The Tema metropolis was developed during the Nkrumah regime. It was christened the industrial city following the establishment of many factories. The first among his legacies was the Accra-Tema motorway. The expressway was opened to traffic in November 1965 to link the industrial city to Accra. The Ghana Cement Works, now called GASEM, which was opened in collaboration with Norcem of Norway and government in August 1967, was one of them. The cocoa processing factory was also established in 1965. The chocolate factory is one of the many which continue to struggle despite being a limited liability company incorporated in 1981. Growing the textile industry was also on the heart of the late president, constructing 2 indigenous factories, the Ghana Textile Corporation (GTC) and the GTMC.
I quite remember the way Tama was those times, and then it was very beautiful. In community center they have a praying ground. We have a health community going around to survey all the things. Gutters are being flushed with the fire service and all that.
In the late 50s and 60s, anyone who visits the port city and has a visitor, this facility was where they host their guests, the former Tema Meridian Hotel. But 60 years on, it is in a state of disrepair. For a long time, the Tema Meridian Hotel has become a white elephant as miscreants have converted the place to a rest shop and a place of convenience.
All right, and you simply have to stay right on TV3. We'll have more in the build-up to Founders Day on Thursday, September 21. This is Midday Live. We're stepping on the brakes. When we'll come back, there is business and sports. A high-level breakfast meeting is expected later on. It is to deal with the issues of pension, which is very dear to contributors and key source of ready capital to fund long-term projects and infrastructure development. The Graphic Communications Group is thick in the affairs of this breakfast meeting, and we'll take a look at exactly why they are in there. My guest is the Managing Director, Graphic Communications Group, Ken Asiedu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're doing great.
Thank you very much. I'm very good.
When you're not fighting galamsey, you're engaged in breakfast business. Now, why is Graphic involved in this?
Well, you know,
for us, all of us as part of the media, where we are the fourth estate of the realm, it's not enough just to be a conduit for reporting issues that are happening, but we also need to be able to influence change. We need to advocate for some things. And one of the strong beliefs that we have at Graphic is the fact that we need Ghanaian solutions for Ghanaian problems. So what we do with the Graphic Business Stambik breakfast meetings is to be able to bring key stakeholders to come and deal with pertinent issues and challenges that are confronting the country, so that at the end of the day we are able to get key stakeholders to also contribute. So apart from the panelists, the people we also invite also come and speak to a particular issue. So we've handled many topics in the past, and so this is just one of them.
I see. And so we're talking about pensions here.
Yes.
What informed the choice of the topic for this breakfast meeting?
Well, you know that pensions, one, apart from the fact, as you said in your intro, that they are important to all of us. You know, we all want to prepare for our pensions because it's very expensive, you know, at that particular time when you are old beyond 60 years, and then you're not working again, your strength is not there, but you know, that's when a lot of medical care comes in and the cost comes in. So to the individuals, it's a critical thing. But you notice that a lot of economies have been built on the back of pensions. How are we using the funds we are to be able to even grow local businesses? How are we using that to be able to fund a lot of the things that we want to do? So we believe that it is opportune for us to sit and talk about pensions, bring key stakeholders to come together to come and discuss these issues, come up with concrete steps so that ourselves and then with your group as well, we would be able to take on the issues that these key stakeholders come, talk to the policymakers, talk to the people who are supposed to be implementing it, so that beyond just coming to talk, we also are able to follow up and ensure that some change happens and Ghana develops.
So sustainability of pensions will be a key conversation that will be done there. What exactly are we expecting to hear from how we can sustain our pensions?
So, well, it is to also look again. We've been running, you know, our pension scheme for a while now, since there was a change in the law. You know, now there's a tier 3 that have come in. Apart from SNET, you also have private companies that also have come in. The MPRA has also come into this, you know, and they're regulating this. It is good to be able to go back and see how it is that we're running this, you know, and how this is going and how this is impacting upon the country, impacting on individuals. But most importantly, if you look at the theme, it talks about the role of pensions in national economic development and sustainability. So it also is talking about, even in terms of our development, how sustainable our development is. You know, most of the time we are dependent so much on foreign, especially aid, you know, and then you have foreign direct investment. But there's also a lot of money that is coming from, you know, the pensions. How well are we using all of that? The various structures that currently have been put in place. How is that pushing together our quest for moving from a lower middle income country to a top middle income country? And other countries have done it, but our situation is different. So how do the experts see that we can also play this so that by the time you are going on retirement, you know, some of the challenges we hear in terms of what people are paid, we can improve on that. But not only that, we also can get some of these funds to fund some of the critical things that we want to do that cannot be funded by anybody but us Ghanaians.
I see. So you can see Mr. Peter say you are in here.
Yes.
Mr. Charles Osakutu is here. Madam Angela Akosia JC. So these persons, people who have worked around pensions, what exactly went into picking them?
So, well, you're looking at, we wanted to look at it from the player's perspective. We wanted to look at it from so you see that Peter Asiedu was former managing director for SIC, and he's been in this business for quite a long time. Angela also works at the law firm Benti, Enchil, Lechai, and Nankuma, and she handles pensions, employment, and immigration. So she would come at it from a legal point of view. Then we also would have Charles Osakutu, who's the CEO for Stallion Trust Company, also a player, also coming into it. And then the important thing is that you then have a chairperson who is a CEO of the MPRA who would also come to speak about it. So that's the perspective for me that came up. But the interesting thing is also that we also are inviting key stakeholders who would also have some opportunities to make input. And for me, the beauty is, apart from these panelists who make their presentation, it is the questions that come. It is the suggestions, the comments that come. And then critically, ourselves and yourselves and other media players will come. It's to also take the points that they raise and then be able to do a follow through. So the choice of, and like that's what we do all the time, is to make sure that you bring the expert, but from various perspectives, so that they can bring that learning to it.
And finally, so what are the expectations of graphic business of this platform? What is the expectation?
Well, one of the things we hope to do is that we would be able to generate a lot of talk beyond just what would happen tomorrow at Labadi Beach Hotel. We also would be able to get all of us as media talking about these things, and we're hoping that we would have some concrete suggestions. We'll have some concrete criticisms of what we are currently doing and the ways to be able to improve it. And most importantly, for us, the media, to be able to use that as, the launching part, to be able to interrogate the issues of pensions and the national development and sustainability, so that we would be, as I said at the beginning, come up with Ghanaian solutions to our Ghanaian challenges, so that we would be able to move the development of this country.
I said finally, but I'm tempted to ask you have not resigned from Graphic Group, have you?
No. Well, you see, I'm still sitting here as Managing Director for Graphic Communications Group Limited.
So you have not resigned?
Well,
you have not resigned.
Let me say that my employer, I'm still speaking to my employers. I would not have resigned if I would not be sitting here if I'd resigned.
All right, before I let you go, TV3 is 20 years, 1st October will be 20 years. Perhaps you've been watching us. How have you seen TV3?
Well, you see, TV3, I've followed TV3 as it's gone along, and I think that TV3 has paid its dues as a critical part, of the media's development. You see, TV3 handle very critical issues when it comes to development. My love for TV3 is the quality of the documentaries that TV3 does. You find out that TV3 would offer the platform for the voiceless to also be able to take up their issues and deal with it. And the follow through by TV3 is critical. Look at the set that we're sitting on. Splendid, comparable to any set you can see. So I think you've done a good job. 20 years has come so quickly, but the amount of work that you have packed into these 20 years is commendable. Another thing you want to commend TV3 about is the coverage of elections. A detailed job is done, and it's one of the things that have contributed to the development of our democracy. I say for that the media has been one of the reasons. TV3 would cover the elections. It would start from the beginning of it, when it starts, to the extent that you, even who have lost, it's difficult for you to come and dispute it. I think you've done a great job. But the next 20 years, the challenges are more, and I'm expecting that you do even better.
And your call to have a media push the support to fight galamsey, have your expectations been met, and how?
Well, I think that is great. This is one of the things that all of us as media, we would say that we want to commend ourselves for. And TV3 has, and your various radio stations, you played a yeoman's role. Look at where we started from. We were able to galvanize the whole country. And this thing that had become a canker that was nearly going to lead us to, all our way, we've been able to now get, the government has come up with a multilateral mining integrated project that has the various elements. We got the Chief Justice to be able to introduce these courts. The Operation Vanguard is on the field as I speak. I know that very soon we're going to be deploying some media people who would also be embedded into Operation Vanguard. I'm sure they're going to get teams from here. And all we need to do, and I would say to all of us in the media, is let's take the MMIP once the government, launches it, and ensure that we implement it. This is a legacy that all of us as media people were leaving behind. We have actually played our roles as the fourth estate of the realm, holding the first, the second, and the third estate to account of the people. That is the mandate from the Constitution, chapter 12. And we all need to live it.
Ken, I'm grateful for your time with us this afternoon. Grateful. And of course, Ken Ashigbe is Managing Director, Graphic Communications Group. And that's it for business. The response after this. is entertainment news.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
Now, if you missed it yesterday, the dream of claiming the bragging right of Ghana's most beautiful 2017 was cut short for two of the contestants. Now, Numbu and Ayele could not make it past the pass mark to make it to the next stage of the competition and became the first set of evictees for the 11th season.
Who's going and who's staying?
Adam stays, and Ayele and Numbu, goodbye. This is the end of the road. All right.
Thank you very much.
It was an emotionally filled night as two of the contestants took a bow from the competition. Greater Accra's Ayele and Upper West Numbu brought their journey to a close on Sunday's show after a night of traditional dances and proverbs. With a 40% public vote and 60% of judges' score, the two fell short of moving on to the next stage, hence their eviction.
The evictees get 1,000 Ghana cedis each. Congratulations, ladies. You fought so well. It's not the end of the world, not the end of the road. How does it feel tonight?
It's been fair enough.
She said it's been fair enough. Numbu.
I give all praises to Allah.
However, Talata, Upper East representative, and the Star Performer Award with her spectacular performance of a war dance and its significance in her region.
And Jump Crow is mainly performed by women. This I'm holding is called Adenkum, and it's accompanied by a drum.
From the Bono Ahafo region, Adum was awarded most eloquent following her on-point delivery and carefully calculated steps on the dance. Northern Region Zainab picked 2 awards, Best Costume and Most Disciplined Contestants in the Reality House for the week. The journey continues for the remaining 8 ladies.
Well, that's how we're wrapping up the show for this afternoon. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. And the University Teachers Association of Ghana begins a strike withdrawing teaching services. And on the international front, 7 people have been killed in Uganda over a change in the presidential term. Thanks so much for your time. There's more news on 3news.com, but you can also stay here for more news on News in Brief and later on News 360. My name is Bright Anamfo. Have a good afternoon.